If you like talking,
Women.
Ladies,
men,
topic,
Conversations.
and occasional uninformed politics,
multiple talking women is for you.
hit it! Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is Multiple Talking Women. I'm, as always, Paula Gherkin. We have a guest today, Tom LENK.
Yeah, I usually do that part. I usually say, and welcoming today the emollient and luminous Tom LENK.
Well, I like the way I did
Well, today's a little different, isn't it? Because we're not multiple talking women. We're multiple talking people, aren't we?
Humans.
Humans, thank you.
Thanks for having me, ladies.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Humans.
Thank you for being here. You know, your career has spanned so many different things that you've been in and out of, but I really like to explain you as this very creative, brilliant mind who can pretty much do it all.
Almost like I'm like a floating brain, sort of
Yes.
an alien. Like if I was a brain in a jar, just sort of floating.
Okay, if you were a very smart floating brain, but then had biceps that could cut glass. Because today when I hugged you when you came in the room, I was like, what is happening to this guy?
And a floating brain that can I just say, the color coordination is blowing my mind.
I'm wearing lots of creams and ecru today because I finally decided that it's best to accept the dog hair.
Sure.
And now you can't notice it as much.
Do you have one dog? You have two dogs?
I have one dog
Okay.
currently with me, and the other two live with their other father in San Francisco currently. But they're all light colored dogs, so I just got tired of all of the. It's so wasteful to use those rolling things with the tape and all the
I'm just going
plastic.
to touch on something quickly. You share custody of an
Three dogs?
animal.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, I go visit them when I can, but I didn't when the breakup happened with my ex. I didn't want to separate the two dogs.
God, I see you're a feeling person too. Very kind.
And so I let him take them because he makes more money than me. He's a doctor. So
There
and
it
it's
is.
San Francisco, nice house.
Oh.
They get a yard. and-
Did you used to get free exams?
No. I try to keep business and personal separate.
That's the only reason.
Plus,
I
he
would date
doesn't
a
take
doctor.
my insurance.
Now, are you from the Lanks of Phoenix?
What? What about the what?
Are you
The Lanks of Phoenix.
part of the Phoenix Lanks?
I don't think so. I was part of the Los Angeles Lanks that
You
came.
originally from here?
Me? Yes, I'm from local.
Oh, I knew a large brood of Lanks in Phoenix. They ran bakeries.
Well, you know what? Now that you say bakery, I just did my 23andMe, and we do come from a long line of bakers, cobblers.
Wow.
My great grandfather was a cobbler when he first came.
Candlestick makers?
Before he came here, he worked in a mining for ore in a tiny village, and
He's about as multi-talented as you are.
or also I have a theory that maybe they were elvish,
Well,
doing making shoes, mining for ore, and he built small wooden toys by hand. So I'm just saying.
Wow.
you are definitely. Because you also are like, you're a man. And I'm not saying you look like a child,
But you do
you're
skew
youthful.
elf.
You're youthful.
Yes.
I have been described as a man boy.
Oh.
What kind of lotions do you use? That's normally a Lana question, but
Keels. I use Keels.
Oh, wow.
Keels,
you don't
if you're
have an
listening.
age spot in sight.
No.
Very, very pure.
You know, going with this elf fantasy theme, I just want to dip in real quick. Was Buffy the Vampire Slayers, was that your first foray into like, wow, I recognize this guy? Because you've been acting for a long time. But Buffy was a big And did you have to wear prosthetics in the show?
Hold on. Can I go back, please?
I was-
I just hate the way you started that. What I want to know is how did it all begin before we get to Buffy? Did you do plays in school? Did you do musical? Let's take it from the tip top.
Wow, you're really interested in
Yeah, how did it all get rolling?
my thespian
Yeah.
roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I performed as a child here in Southern California. and-
As a child.
yeah.
Wow.
And
See, this is why you asked.
What sort of productions did you perform?
musicals, loved musicals. And
Which musical?
all of them, most of them.
Wow.
I
Music Man?
yes, directed it in high school.
Annie.
Directed it junior year.
Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Played the French one.
Godspell.
Keep going. Yes, I sang "You're the Light of the World"
Jesus
I
Christ
love
Superstar?
that song.
in college. Yes, at post college at UCLA, we rented the big theater and did a Jesus Christ Superstar set in a rave setting.
That's really cool.
Keep going. I like this game.
Merrily we roll along.
No, pass.
Oh, shit.
Didn't do that
Okay,
one.
let's
Bye Bye Birdie.
Yes. Played Hugo the boyfriend post college, Thousand Oaks Civic Auditorium.
Company.
No,
Oh boy, I think we've come to a skidding halt.
Fiddler on the Roof.
no.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, so you did
He's
a lot of.
not the right demographic to play Fiddler on the Roof. I am.
You know, back in the day, they didn't pay attention to that.
No.
They just cast whoever, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Now Paula doesn't want us leapfrogging around.
I don't
but-
like leapfrogging. I like it in order. So
Okay.
you're doing all this theater.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do you say, I want to be on the big screen or the small screen in people's homes?
Well, as a kid, I really resented children in commercials because
Oh.
I just thought I could do it better.
Like Mikey likes it.
Yeah. Or like, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me.
Sure.
Yeah.
My sister had a My Buddy. I find it very depressing, that toy.
Like you don't know real friends, just
Well, I mean, it's like, this is my buddy. It's so depressing, it could make me sob for hours.
Well, what about Kid Sister?
Kid sister.
Kid Sister.
was that
Kid Sister and me.
Wait, was it the same tune for Kid
was.
Sister?
It was.
Jeez.
It was the same tune. It was a spin-off of My Buddy. My Buddy was for, back when toys were gendered.
Right, I was just going to say.
They were intended for boys, and my
Right.
buddy,
You
Kid
couldn't
Sister
have a
was for
boy
girls.
buddy if you were a girl.
There was a time, maybe pre-electronic toys, when there were a lot of dolls out there. Wasn't there? I had many, and there was also a lot of horror surrounding those dolls.
I secretly wanted a Cabbage Patch doll when I was
I had
a
one.
small child.
I hate that it would have to be
I
secret.
hate that it was a secret.
Yeah, you couldn't really. Yeah, I had I played with Transformers.
Oh, jeez.
So what games would you make the Transformers play?
Games like, I wish I didn't have to play with these Transformers and had a doll.
Sometimes they were erotic games.
Oh, yes.
Transformers, Transformers and even more so Thundercats. I found
Thundercats go.
very, like
Erotic?
I didn't know the term as a child, but they were very sexy.
But you like to press their crotches together. And, Sure.
And but the spandex costumes that the cat people wore,
Yeah.
it was very
And they had muscles.
so muscular.
And the females, too, had muscles, which until then was basically not seen. You weren't getting a muscular doll.
No,
Do you remember the Thundercats theme?
thunder, 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 Thundercats.
Wow. That even is sexual. It's
Yeah.
like climaxing.
Sure.
Right.
Can we get back on track, please?
Sure.
All right. So then you're resentful of children, and you say, I could do that.
I could do that better.
And what age is this?
Just soon as I was watching TV,
Oh, wow. So that was
resenting children. My
resenting your own peers.
yes,
Sure.
my passion for performing did come from a place of jealousy and wanting to do better.
I think that gives fuel to the fire. I get it.
I think I did when I was in the throes of darkness one day. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole and I read up on Paul Rubens. And he also his was intensely jealous of child actors and would write letters to directors saying that we're stupid for hiring anyone but him, and it eventually worked out for him. So, I mean, it's not an uncommon thing to just be filled with rage as a child.
Yeah, I will say that Paul Rubens as Pee Wee's Playhouse was maybe the reason I got into show business.
Really?
Wow.
I just want that, and when I saw that, I was like, I want to do that.
So then,
And you're just as talented and creative, and you have that sort of kind of out of the atmosphere.
Similar
brain.
man boy and energy.
But maybe
Yeah.
slightly better judgment.
Maybe.
so what was your first big like? Wow, I'm doing it.
I booked the European tour of Greece, Das Musical,
Ooh.
Das
I-
musical.
At what age?
just after out of college, and I'd done musical theater training at UCLA, and I was
Wow.
ready, prepared, and I got to Munich, and we were there for 6 months.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
What did you audition with?
I really liked using unexpected songs because I didn't want to sing anything that everyone else was singing.
Sure.
So for example, for my Rent auditions and callbacks, I sang "I Think I Love You" from the Partridge Family.
What am I so afraid of?
Yeah. I think I love you. So I maybe I was still using that, or I know. I think I sang. What's that song? Mariah Carey sang it, and also Michael Jackson sang it.
You'll always be a part of
And
me.
laughter,
Oh.
togetherness is
Oh,
all.
we're after when there is love. I'll be there.
Wow, Paula.
Do you have formal training?
No, I don't have formal training in anything. I'm just naturally good at everything.
You
All
can
right.
lie. We don't want to hear your voice. You don't have to just kind of be like, oh, this is what I did.
Yeah. I keep setting you up to hear this.
Yeah, and it's just kind of
Think
like,
well.
He's not giving it to us.
what part did you garner
what did you
in
get?
Greece?
I played. Well, I lied for a while. I lied after I got back, and I said I played duty.
Okay, that would be a good part for you. I love it.
But I was really the understudy, and I was
Sorry,
in
there's
the-
a character named Duty?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. He plays
Which-
the guitar.
I ended up when I did Bye Bye Birdie at in Thousand Oaks, it was with the guy who played Duty in the movie,
Oh,
and then he married my friend who was a much younger woman,
full circle.
and her name was his
Patricia
name
Clarkson?
was Barry Pearl,
Oh.
and her name was Heather Brown, and she became Heather Brown Pearl,
Oh,
Oh,
goodness gracious.
I get
and
it.
then I think they divorced, and she went back to being
She went back to being
Heather Brown.
Just brown.
well, Heather Brown, formerly Brown Pearl, right? Yeah, that's how they do it.
Anyway.
This is fascinating.
This is all true, by the way. And so I played duty, understudy, but I never went on. But I did have the opportunity to go on for him, for the guy I was covering, because he needed to miss a show so he could go see his girlfriend in a touring production of Rocky Horror Show.
Oh.
That was also in Munich. But I had gotten a commercial agent while I was there in Munich, and I booked a commercial that happened to film that day. And so I said, I won't be there. And they got very mad, but they couldn't do anything. And
So who played Duty?
he just couldn't go to. He couldn't do it. He had to stay and do it. And they're very upset with me. But I made more money on that commercial than I did, the whole
Sometimes you
time
gotta
I
make
was
those
there.
hard decisions.
But it was interesting because I lied at my audition, and they asked me if I knew how to ski, and I said, yes, of course. I go to Mammoth Mountain in California all the time,
Oh no.
which was not true. And then I booked the commercial, and so then it was filming on Wednesday, and Tuesday I took a train at 6 a.m. in the morning to the highest mountain in Germany, the Zugspitze.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I found an Olympic
Zugspitze.
medalist to teach me how to ski. I learned to ski, took the train back in time to do the show that night. And then I went the next day to Austria, to a small village called Seefeld.
Sure.
And I got there, and the German producer was like, Thomas, are you so excited for the Skispringen tomorrow. And I said, yeah, but, sorry, what do you, Skispringen? I thought it was just skiing, because skiing is ski and spring. And I guess I hadn't paid attention at the
no.
audition.
Was it
and
water ski?
It was ski jumping.
Oh,
Ski jumping.
they thought they hired a professional ski jumper.
And I said, I took a few seconds to process and like, I've lied so far. I did learn to ski, but I did not learn to ski jump. And I thought in those few seconds, yeah, I'll go down the jump. I'll fly off. Maybe I'll land. Maybe I won't. I'll probably break something, but they'll still have to pay me. And then I'll go home early from Grease Dust Musical. But then they were like, Thomas, we have a stunt double for you.
Oh, great joke.
Yeah.
Really
my
great.
goodness.
Germans known for their sense of humor.
Right.
But did you learn a lesson? Did you learn a
Is
lesson
to not
lie?
to not lie. Yeah, I'm just too lazy to lie. I don't want to learn a new thing.
Right.
But I will say, I discovered that basically the only reason I booked the commercial was for Audi was that that ski jumpers are like horse jockeys that they're really short and small because you got to be lightweight to fly while you're springing. And so I booked it because they'd already rented the costumes from the professional ski jumping team, and they were all very short men and all
Well,
these
you can thank your elf DNA for that.
full circle.
Full circle.
All right, now I will allow us to jump into Buffy because I'm imagining we're starting to get to that place.
Yeah, I shortly after I got home from Das Musical.
Shortly.
You got an audition.
You're not. I don't. When I look at you, I don't think there's a short man.
I know. I think you think of yourself as being extremely tiny.
You're normal.
but
You're taller
very-
than me.
you're
And when I hugged you, those biceps were bursting.
Well, Tom Cruise I'm taller than Tom Cruise, I think, by an inch.
That's all you need in this town.
Yeah.
Great.
we're going to be shut down after you said that.
What is to be taller than Tom Cruise?
He has a lot of power.
He has a lot of power.
I'm giving him a compliment. I guess.
I've worked for him.
Have you?
Yeah. For
What
Tom
did you
Cruise.
build for him?
Oh, I had to. No, I trained him.
To run?
Running. That's
Fitness?
why you see he runs in every movie and really fast. I trained him for that. I've trained him
He's
for
got a
fast
great
running.
gait, so I think you did well with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyways, he'll probably come on at some point. All right, so you get an audition.
And it was initially to play a vampire in season 5, and I booked that part.
Oh.
And I had prosthetics, and but then I guess there was a rule that you could play other parts if your face had been covered. And so then the next season, some person they had written a part for, or had been on the show already, wasn't available. I think he had become a Christian singer and was on tour with a Christian pop group.
As you
move.
do.
And so the part was available, and they just made it his brother. Anyway, I auditioned for it, and I booked it.
Ooh.
And what was his name for those who don't remember?
That was the role of Andrew Wells.
And he was sort of a weevil type character, or a muskrat type.
Yeah, he had a sort of
Was he human?
rodentia sort of vibe. He was very, nervous comic book nerd.
I feel like you're turning into him as we speak.
Yeah, it's
Was he any kind of animal, or was he human?
no, he was human.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry. I thought there was a
I-
little wink to him being in the rodent world.
I know that's just my sort of natural energy that you're picking up on. I think, if
Yeah, I
they,
get a hamster energy from you.
yeah, very nervous,
Yeah. Wiggly.
anxious.
Sure.
If they were doing a remake of Charlotte's Web, I could play Templeton the
Did
rat.
you bring nervous hamster into your audition?
No, I really, yes, and also brought. I've been watching a lot of Golden Girls, so I was bringing a lot of Rose and the Golden Girls to it. But my natural hamster wheel energy is something that obviously you picked up on, and I did funnel some of that into there. He was not any sort of magical rodent like, what's that character from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
He's a giant rat. What's
Yeah.
his name?
Professor something?
I can't remember.
Gargamel?
that's
I
from the
love
Smurfs.
Gargamel.
I know.
Professor
That's a erotic.
Gargamel's so
Character.
erotic. Like, what even was he?
He was a
He was a queen living with his cat, and he was attracted to all of the Smurfs, and he was trying to make trouble for them, but secretly liked them. Why not?
secretly like them, but was always trying to eat them.
Well,
Had a thing for Smurfette.
Yeah, look
Whenever
at
he put them in the cages, the bars were always wider than the actual.
Clearly they could get
have
out.
escaped.
they wanted to be there.
It was like that syndrome where you fall in love with your
fall in
captor.
love. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
just
What's
say,
that, Stockholm syndrome
Stockholm
or
syndrome.
Munchausen? Which one's Munchausen?
Munchausen is when you're a
Munchausen.
mother and you're poisoning your child.
That's
with
Munchausen.
Ajax.
Oh, so that's repeated baby deaths?
Yes.
well, it's
that's-
also
No,
just
just
saying
keeping
you're
them
sick. You're sick. You have a disease. I'm going to take you to the doctor. You better tell him you have a disease.
I
'cause she
believe
wants-
that's by proxy. Not
Oh, wait,
that I
which
know
which
anything
one's by
about it.
proxy and which one's
I think
the
Munchausen is when you do it to yourself, and by proxy is when you do it to somebody else.
Now, do you have any fan stories, crazy fan stories? Because I would bet you did.
Yeah,
Because
you got a lot of Buffy.
I know a lot of people who think you were talking about this weevil energy, but you're hot, and there's people who want to get it. Yeah, there's people who want to get that.
I
Yeah.
feel like you want to get it.
Why not? Of course I do. I'm in an open marriage. It's not even a marriage; it's a partnership. Your
Who
arm
with?
is enough for me. I
Who
could
with?
just write your arm.
Who's your partner?
I don't share his name.
I'm sorry, did you just say you would ride his arm?
When I touched that arm, I am an arm person. When I touched that arm, it was like Niagara Falls.
Can we talk about the fact that you were a child musical theater lover and
Yeah.
went on to achieve the
the
ultimate
dream of all dreams.
which is to perform on Broadway?
I did. I
That's
did
kind of
it.
crazy.
I made it against all odds. I portrayed the role here, or I created the role here in Los Angeles, where we
In what? Say the musical, please.
Rock of Ages,
Heard of it.
a jukebox musical using the hit tunes of rock and pop from the late 80s and 90s.
Could you possibly give us a taste?
Songs like I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me.
Okay, but now you had to sing it for real because that's play singing, and you have a gorgeous voice.
Was that your song?
That was not my song.
What song did
What
you
was
sing?
your
I
song?
sang
For real.
I sang a
please.
song that I actually despise.
Oh,
Because you sang it so many
No,
times?
I just hate the song.
Tell me.
And then again, after you sing it more and more, you start to hate it
Hate it even
even more. Hit me with your best shot.
One of my faves.
But I played a young German man, and I had to sing it in a German accent, so it just became so very square.
there's a lot of
And
German coming up in this.
There's
I
a lot
am.
of full circles in your life, Mr. Link.
Yeah, circular energy.
You're a real tough cookie with a long history
God, you're good.
of breaking little hearts like the one in me.
That's okay. I'll see how you do it. Put up your dukes and let's get down to it. I recently saw a Pat Benatar musical,
Oh,
Oh, I really wanted to see that, but then I read reviews.
and it was, I'll just say it was unfortunate. It was an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet, where some of the language was original Shakespeare, and then some of it just was modern, like, oh hey man, don't be extra, stuff like that. And then they would sing the songs of Pat Benatar. But to me, her biggest hit is "Hit Me
Love
with Your
is a-
Best Shot."
Oh,
Oh, Love's a Battlefield. Yeah, that's a good. And was not included in the show, even though apparently
that must
she's
have felt like
also-
an...
she doesn't like it because of its gun references. But I thought "Hit Me with Your Best Shot" was like a boxing.
or a metaphor for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was.
yeah, you know. So
Or
anyway,
she just hated it as much as you did. Like she just didn't like it.
you know what? I think that's it.
Yeah.
I got to New York, all was well and good. And then I went to the dermatologist and I said, "What are these mosquitoes are killing me? Can you do something?" And she's like, "No, those are bed bugs."
Oh, dear.
And so, and I was subletting a place from a friend, and I don't know, maybe in the 2 weeks I had just picked them up on the subway or something.
Oh, no.
Glamorous life of a Broadway actor, right?
Yeah, and so then they came in and they sprayed all the things, and they, put the mattress and a zip-up thing, and
Oh.
no one would let you come stay with them because they don't want it at their
No.
house.
Covered in bed bugs.
And
you
so
blame
the night before my opening night on Broadway, I slept in a bathtub in my apartment.
Wow.
And there was this little boy in the building I lived in. He would often say hello to me. And one night I came home from the show. I was very tired and not sleeping well from all, because I'm just panicked about these bed bugs. And again, nervous hamster energy. And I got in the elevator and he was on there and he was talking to me. He's like, hey, how's it going? Oh, it's fine, it's fine. And I got off the elevator and I looked back, and before the doors weren't closing, and the boy just stared at me and started waving and quietly said, good night, mister. Sleep tight. Hope the bed bugs don't bite.
Oh,
And the
dear.
doors closed.
Horror movie.
Horror
Horror.
movie.
Their family was responsible for the bed bugs.
I
though.
think
Oh,
so.
probably.
I think so.
They brought them in a little jar and let them loose.
Yeah. Under the doors.
Sure.
That was fun. And then I had I think I had norovirus twice.
Oh, jeez.
Which I thought was food poisoning, but so bad that I
That's when you really think that you're going to die.
I prayed for death.
Sure.
And I was close to going to call 911, but
I call 911 when I have that, even if it's just a touch.
You like
A touch
calling-
of-
you like paramedics coming to your home.
Oh, hell yeah, their bodies.
Yeah, the biceps.
Jesus.
Their
Talk
arms.
about
Once I had
biceps.
one who was Native American, African American, Asian American, a white guy, and a Hispanic American, and I was like,
That's a Benetton emergency.
international.
Yeah.
were they all in one paramedic,
Yeah, they all
one
came
ambulance?
up in the ambulance van. They came up to the room.
That's so many paramedics. Why? Why?
The way I presented, I guess, on the 911 call, they knew
Was
it.
They
it-
thought
were-
send the whole team.
Is there a lot of blood?
No, I had just been throwing up, and I felt like I was going
She
to faint.
panics.
Yeah.
If you can believe it, as always, we gotta get to some things here because we are running low on time. We have been just
So quick,
It
right?
goes fast when you're having fun. What we need to talk about is your online social media sensation.
Presence.
Your presence, which started when you started making fashion. You've done other things online, I'll say that, but I think was this the biggest kind of thing you did online that got a lot of attention, making fashion out of trash?
Yeah. It was. It kicked off 2016, I think, or maybe 2016, and it peaked about a year later, and it's been dwindling ever since.
No, but let's talk about that peak
But-
moment real quick because
Yeah.
these is works of art, and I want everyone listening to
Agreed.
go look online right now. What is that
Well, if you
particular?
scroll back on my Instagram, you'll.
And what was the spark of inspiration?
Well, I had been seeing the Met Gala looks coming out from the 2016 Met Gala, and I just thought, oh my God, all these, like, who's to say that this is fashion?
Right.
And
Who's in charge here? Right.
Who's
Who
in
is
charge?
in charge here?
because some of these things I look like I made them myself with household items, and so then I thought,
Ding,
well,
ding, ding.
I'll just do that. And then it took off, and that week I just kept making more and more, and then it just it went viral, as things sometimes do, and
Viral.
and I thought I'll just keep doing this. Okay, Act 2. Is this my Act 2? Maybe this is my Act 3. And so, or pivot, as they say. And I'm like, I'll do this till it becomes a TV show. It didn't become a TV show,
Still
but
might.
It still might. I think you're still in Act 1, to be honest.
okay.
You know, Lana and I have been on this creative journey, and we're so interested in people who have found success. And is that sort of where your head always is? Is like, well, maybe this will be a TV show. Like making eggs in the morning. Well, maybe this will be a TV show.
I mean, I think I could be a cooking.
I'd get behind that.
I
Star.
would, walk it,
I would watch
it,
that
for sure.
daily.
I think I could. Again, it goes back to my childhood roots of I could do that better. I think I could do that.
I love this confidence.
I know, I do too.
And I think the real core, if you break down to the core essence of what I was doing with these, I would make outfits out of trash, out of recyclables, out of things you find around the house, out of curtains, out of sometimes I do edible looks out of pasta. And
yeah, I've seen that one.
was really it was such a lesson in creativity. I'm gonna get serious here.
Please.
Lesson in creativity of to just, get off your phone, get off your electronics, make something with your hands, put it out there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Throw it together as fast as you can. Put it out there and move on to the next thing and keep going.
That's kind of our philosophy for this podcast.
Well, you know what I was going to say is we always ask our guests to end and tell us something, a word of encouragement or advice for other people in creative field, and I think you just did it. You just got to kind of do it.
Get off your technology,
Yeah.
make something.
Make something.
Put it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just and you don't have to be the judge of it. Let other people have opinions about it. And if it's not perfect, you're just going to keep going. You're going to keep doing that
Doesn't
process.
matter. Don't make it so precious.
Let it go.
What is it? Overthinking kills the magic.
Idle hands are the devil's plaything. Same thing.
And really get off that technology
And do something.
and do something. But then
Wow.
get back on it and follow
To
me
share
on
it.
Instagram.
Right.
At Tommy Lank. Also TikTok at Tommy Lank.
Great. I think we can't do much better than that.
No,
And
that's
we
pretty
need
great.
to say goodbye.
Should we go out on a song?
Yeah. What song you want to go out on? We'll all sing it together.
I think it might have to be Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
I was going to say, what's that song by Extreme? It's also in
More Than
More Than
Words.
Words?
Now that what has this song?
I've come to talk to you and make you understand. All you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hand and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I already know.
And that's Multiple Talking Women. Bye-bye. Multiple Talking Women is hosted by Lauren Burns, Ariane Price, and Lisa Shurga, and produced by Cara Fano and Amelia Misko at Stampede Ventures for the Stampede Podcast Network. Okay, I'm done now.